Hello, welcome to SysJohn. In this video, you will learn about while loop, built-in functions, and some operators. Let's begin. While loop in Python is one of the most general way to perform iterations. Like we saw the for loop, we can also use a while loop for the same iteration. A while statement will repeatedly execute a single statement or a group of statements as long as condition is true. The reason is called a loop it because the code statements are looped through over and over again until the condition is no longer met. So in while loop also it will keep running your loop unless the condition is met. We'll see an example here. We declared a equal to 1 while this while loop will execute until a is less than 10 or a should be less than 10. It will execute. If it is greater than 10 or equal to 10, it will stop executing. So first, this is a syntax of while here would be your condition colon, this is a colon, and this part we are following a indentation. First part, print value of a is whatever the value of a. Second, value of a is less than 10, adding 1 to a, and here we are keep incrementing our value of a. So this statement is a equal to a plus 1. We can also write a plus equal to 1. So first time value of a is 1, second time it will keep increasing it. It will reach till 10. So where the condition is not satisfied, this loop will stop executing. If you see, value of a is 1 first time, second time it is 2, 3, 4, 6, like that till 9, because our condition will execute till 9 where the value of a become 10 or equal to or greater than 10, it will stop executing. So this is a simple demonstration or example of while loop. We can see a break, continue, pass statement which we use majorly on a loop. Break, what this break statement do, it will break a loop if a loop is continuously running, and by satisfying some of the condition, if you want to break that loop there only, we can use a break statement. Continue statement, it will jump to a next iteration of a loop. So we'll see the explanation later here. Pass statement, it will do nothing even if it is a error or not a error, it will do nothing. So continue statement, equal to 1 while this while loop will execute until this condition satisfy where a should be less than 5. If it is equal to 5, this loop will stop executing. The value of a is this, the value of a is less than 5, adding 1 to a. Here we are incrementing the value of a plus equal to 1. If a is equal to 3, we are printing a equal to 3, otherwise press continue and it will keep continuing. So if we execute this code, first time the value of a is 0 because we declared a equal to 0, the value of a is less than 5. Here these two lines will be continue printing. Now from these two, if the condition is met based on if or else, it will print. So here if part is not clear, continue, again continue. Here if you see on the third part when where the value of a is 3, so it is not printing this part. Okay, it directly jumping from if to this part. So this is a example of continue statement where it will not continue the next iteration, it will directly jump to the next loop, means next statement it will not execute, it will continue to the next iteration. Now we'll see the example of break statement. no change in the code, only instead of this we are using break, and another else part we are using continue statement. So here we want to check if the value of a is 3, this loop should stop here, it should not continue further. So if you see, value of a is 1, 2 and 3, where value of a is 3, this condition break the loop, means it is not executing the next line of code. So this is the difference between continue and break statement. What continue will do, it will not execute the next line of code, but it will directly jump to the next iteration of a loop, while in break it will not execute even next statement as well as the loop, it will break the loop. So we saw built-in function, sorry, break statement and continue statement. We'll see now some built-in functions in looping. Range function, we already saw it, we can see in a explained way. The range function allows to quickly generate a list of integer. There are 3 parameters you can use: pass, start and step size. So if you see here, if I want to generate a value between 0 to 5, or sorry, 0 to 4, so here would be start position is 0 and position is 5, so it will always take a -1. If it is 5, so it will generate till -4, sorry, till 4, and after generating it we are converting into list. So 0 1 2 3 4, it's output of this code. Second, again range function, 0 is my start position, 10 is my end position, and steps. So it will see the, it will take a step, 2 step. So it will start with 0, 2 step is 2, second 2 step is 4, then 2 step is 6, then 8, and again this is my end position, so it will execute till 9. So this is a built-in function. Now enumerate, or a enumerator, it will return index position as well as value. Here we are defining I underscore index equal to 0 using a for loop, for letter in sysjohn. So we will pick one by one letter from this sysjohn, print at index. So here it will take an index position and whatever the letter is, by using format I index and letter. Here we are incrementing our letter, sorry, counter. I underscore index equal to I underscore index plus 1. So in with every iteration it will keep increasing it. So if you see here, 0 at 0 position letter is S, first position letter is Y, second position letter is S, like that it execute till 6th position. Okay, so this is a normal one. Now if you want to use a enumerate function, we have to use in this way. Enumerate function automatically take a index and letters, just we have to unpack it so we can print it. Here we took a 2 variable I and letter, we are using a enumerate function, inside it we have a string. Now at index, this is our holding position with curly braces, the letter is again holding position dot format, and here we are just providing I and letter. We are not using any incrementer or counter to increment our values. So it will automatically generate a position. 0 position letter is S, first position letter is Y, like that. So this is a use of enumerator. We can convert our enumerator values into list. Just we can use enumerate function, inside it convert into list. It will automatically unpack or pack in a tuple format, 0 position S, first position Y, second position S, like that. Now zip function, what zip function will do, it will also do a packing and unpacking of our list or a multiple list. Here we took a 2 list 1 and list 2. Only difference here is we have a 7 digit, similarly we have a 7 letters inside another list. If I will zip like this, zip list 1 list 2 list 2, it will return a memory location at which memory location this value has been stored. Now if you want to see, we can convert this value into list, so it will appear in a list format. This is the first item of list, second item, third item, like that. So this is a list. Now we can see the in operator. What is in operator? It will check, like we use in for loop also, it will check this a letter is exist on this list or not. If it is exist, it will return true. So it is returning true here. Like d is not exist in this list, it is returning false. Not in operator, again it is like in only, but it will not check in the list, not in abc. So a is here, we are using not in operator, it should not be in this list, then it will return false, sorry true, otherwise it will return false. So here it is returning false. Similarly, not in operator, it is checking in this list, yeah, it is not available on this list, d is not in this abc, so it is returning true. Now min and max function. So we have a list 1 1 2 3 4, sorry 1 2 3 5 6 8 9. We will check the what is the minimum value inside it. We are using min function, inside it we are passing a list, so 1 is a minimum value from this list. Again we can use a max operator, a max function. Max, inside it we are passing a list, so it will returning a maximum value which is available on a list. Similarly, we have a random library. So from random library we are importing shuffle function. So what shuffle function will do, it will automatically shuffle the value of a list. So we're using shuffle function, inside it we are passing a list, and when we print a list, so if you see, it is automatically shuffling our values 1 2 3 5 9 6 8. If you see this value 1 2 3 5 6 8 9, here it is automatically taking 5 9 6 8. So this shuffle function will automatically shuffle the values. Now another function from the same library, from random we are importing rand int. So what this will do, it will automatically return some integer value, return random integer in range. So here it would be your start position, end position, including both end points. Rand int 0 10, so it will automatically return some random value between 0 to 10. Similarly, if you see here, no code change, only here it returned this value as a 7, in second part it returned the value as a 3. Now input function. So what input function will do, it will take a input from a user. If I run this, so it is already coded. So see here, if I execute input please enter your name, so it will show you a one checkbox kind of thing. You can type whatever your name is, so I am typing as a sysjohn, enter, so it will return as a sysjohn. So here we are taking a input from a user, and we are printing it. So in this video we covered while loop, we saw some of the built-in function, we saw some of the operators like in, not in, rand int, random library, min and max function. We'll see you on a